McNeil played 524 games in the National Hockey League and was a four-time Stanley Cup winner. Uecker was a catcher and sportscaster who served as the play-by-play announcer for the Milwaukee Brewers of Major League Baseball for 54 seasons. Cuellar played briefly with the Texas Rangers as a relief pitcher. He held several coaching positions in baseball, including pitching coach, bullpen coach, and manager. Nicknamed the Wizard, he was a two-time NBA All-Star playing for the Seattle Supersonics, winning an NBA championship in 1979. Kramer was a jurist and attorney and was named consensus first-team All-American while playing collegiately for the NYU Violets. Veal was one of the top strikeout pitchers in the National League during his tenure with the Pirates. The two-time All-Star player was the National League strikeout leader in 1964. Bell is an American track and field athlete who won the gold medal in the long jump at the 1956 Summer Olympics in Melbourne, Australia. Turner was a tackle and guard for the St. Louis Cardinals. He played college football for the Kentucky Wildcats and was named a first-team All-American in 1963. Demerit was a pitching coach in Major League Baseball. Billingsley was a MLB left-handed pitcher who pitched part of one season in the majors. Gibbons was an NHL defenseman who played in 226 games in the World Hockey Association. Foster was a right winger in the NHL for 9 seasons, before retiring in 1987 because of knee injuries. Button was an American figure skater and skating analyst. He was a two-time Olympic champion, 1948, 1952, and 5-time consecutive world champion, 1948 to 1952. Campbell was a linebacker who played in the National Football League for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Matthews was an American professional baseball pitcher who played in Major League Baseball for the Baltimore Orioles and the Chicago Cubs from 2009 to 2016. Graham was a former pitcher in the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. Schroeder was a wide receiver for 6 seasons with the Chicago Bears of the National Football League. Jones was a running back in the National Football League. He played college football for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Dempsey was a Canadian football linebacker who played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders and BC Lions. He won the Grey Cup with Saskatchewan in 1966. Creed worked 2 Super Bowls, 26 as a side judge, and 30 as a back judge. In all, he covered 25 playoff games during his 34-year career. De Leon was a striker in the North American Soccer League. Bradshaw was a wide receiver in the National Football League, primarily for the Oakland Raiders. He played college football for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Mazzotti played defensive end for 3 NFL teams during the 1960s. McCourt was a long-tenured NHL referee. Montilla was a utility player, who appeared mostly as an infielder during his 11-year Major League Baseball career. Callaway was a defensive lineman for 4 seasons with the Philadelphia Eagles of the National Football League. Simpson was on the Ottawa Senators post-game broadcast. Lucas was an ice hockey defenseman who played in 1 National Hockey League game for the Detroit Red Wings. Torborg was a catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers and California Angels from 1964 to 1973. He also managed the Cleveland Indians, Chicago White Sox, New York Mets, Montreal Expos, and Florida Marlins. Howard was an NFL and AFL linebacker. He played college football for the Maine Black Bears and was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame. Anderegg was a small forward and shooting guard in the National Basketball Association. McCall was a running back for 4 seasons with the New Orleans Saints and the Pittsburgh Steelers of the National Football League. Villano was a defensive lineman in the World Football League. Felsk was an baseball catcher, coach, and manager in Major League Baseball. He played left wing in the National Hockey League with the Detroit Red Wings, Boston Bruins, and Montreal Canadiens between 1952 and 1962 and won the Stanley Cup 4 times. Bradley was an outfielder who played in Major League Baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers and New York Mets from 1981 to 1983. Brown made his Major League Baseball debut with his hometown Brooklyn Dodgers at 16 years and 241 days old, starting at shortstop at Ebbets Field against the Chicago Cubs on August 3, 1944. Kish was in pro hockey in one role or another for over 45 years and was an NHL head coach. Brasher was an NFL assistant coach for over 27 years on the defensive side of the field. Tom McVie was an NHL head coach for parts of 8 seasons. Smith played 5 seasons in the majors, 4 for the Cleveland Indians and 1 for the Seattle Mariners, mostly in the outfield. Simpson pitched in the major leagues from 1970 to 1975 and in 1977. He played for the Cincinnati Reds, Kansas City Royals, Philadelphia Phillies, and California Angels. Rest in peace to them all and thank you for the many memories.